Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Sandra Moro. I'm one of the admissions specialists at the BSE. Today with me I have Lupe Castro, which is my colleague in admissions. She will be assisting me in the webinar. I'm going to start with a brief presentation, and then at the end, you can, either write your questions in the Q&A chat here at the bottom of the screen. You can find the menu, so you can write your Q&A questions there, and I answer to as many as possible. Okay. So let's start. Let me share my screen with you guys. Okay. Can you see my slides here? No? Yes? Okay. So this is today's agenda. I want to introduce or talk a bit about the BSE. Then we discuss the masters that we are offering for the next intake. We speak a bit about the faculty, the research activity, the services that the careers office is, services for students, sorry, then the social events, and then we talk about the admissions and application process, okay? At the end of the presentation, then we can, clarify any questions you might have. So the BSE is part of 4 founding units. These are 2 universities. The first one is the Universitat Pompeu Fabra, and the other one is the Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona. These 2 are public universities in Spain, and these actually are the ones granting the degrees at the end of the master. So all the masters at the BSE are official and recognized by the Ministry of Education, okay? And then there are 2 research institutions. The first one is the FSIC, and the other one is the CREI. The faculty at the BSE belong to one of these 2 universities and to one or the 2 of the research centers, okay? These are the master's programs we're offering next year. The first one is the master degree in economics and finance. So these 3 masters here, the program in economics, the PhD track program, the program in financial economics, leading to the master degree in economics and finance, right? Then we have the master's degree in specialized economic analysis, and we got the master in competition, regulation and markets, the economics of public policy, international trade, finance and development, we call it ITFD, and then the macro program, policy and financial markets, and the program in economics of energy, climate change and sustainability. Then we have 2 masters in data science, the masters in data science methodology, and the masters in data science for decision making. So as I said before, all masters are official. There are 60 ECTS credits. They all start in September. The first week in September, all students should be in Barcelona, ready to start. And the graduation ceremony is held usually around mid-July, okay? All masters are taught in English. We talk later about the English requirements, and no Spanish is required either. So we expect that these are I think it's important for you to know that the masters are intensive. I mean, they are short. They're only 9 to 10 months long, but lectures are scheduled every day from Monday to Friday, mornings and afternoons, okay? And then the rest of the time, the students usually spend the day on campus, either working their projects or attending to class, okay? We expect students to work about 50 hours per week. This is summing up, of course, the contact hours, the class hours, plus the working hours. You will have a tutor, an academic coordinator, and a tutor as well. So they would assist when choosing the elective courses or for any, you know, inquiries or any doubts that you have during your studies. There is funding for the candidates. At the moment, there are some partial tuition fee waivers available. These are based on academic merit, and yeah, because we are now processing the application on a rolling basis, I have to say that the later you apply, the smaller the chance to be admitted and also to obtain funding. Okay, so if you want to apply, my advice is that you apply as early as possible. We organize as well networking activities and social activities. The Careers Office organizes fairs and workshops for students. And also some social activities, sporty activities are scheduled during the year. The current placement rate is 95% of the students are placed in a job after graduation, 6 months after graduation. Okay, and this is the data from the last years. The masters are organized in 2 campuses. The first one is the campus in Bellaterra. This is where we share facilities with the Autónoma de Barcelona. It's 30 minutes a ride from Barcelona. The campus is directly connected to Barcelona by train, so it's quite easy to get to campus. Usually there, the masters in macro, some courses of all the masters are taught at the UAB. And then the campus in Ciutadella, this one is in Barcelona, and most of the masters are organized here, and also the professional courses and the summer school. The faculty is international. Of course, they all hold a PhD. They are all researchers, and they belong either to the Pompeu Fabra or to the Autónoma de Barcelona. And also, they are associated with the 2 research organizations that I mentioned before, the CREI or the CSIC. Okay. Also, there are guest faculty that are invited to teach in the master's programs. So therefore, the nationality of the faculty is diverse. I mean, they are not Spanish only, okay? In regards of rankings, we are the first economic institution in Spain. This is always according to RIPEC. This is the source. If you Google in internet RIPEC, you can find more information there. So we are ranking the 3rd in the in Europe and in the top 10 worldwide. Okay, in research activities. We have a very active careers office. They organize every year. They organize a fair that they bring companies to campus to, you know, for 2 reasons. First, the companies share the activities and the of research activities they're doing for students, and also they recruit students from us, okay, every year. Also, they organize workshops. The workshops can range from, I don't know, to improve your CV, how to go through an interview, or any topics related to HR, okay? I think there's also, no, I think no, there is also, there is job database for you guys. It's exclusive, so you can log in, and all the available jobs worldwide are in there, okay? This is the placement by industry. Most of the students, they go to consulting firms, and then 23% they go to academic institutions. And well, you can see it here, I'm not reading out. But the important thing is that most of the students, they are placed after 6 months of graduation, and in about 25, 30 countries. This can vary from one year to another, but yeah, some students, they prefer to stay in Spain, and some others, they go back home or go elsewhere, you know, according to the job preferences. If you want to know more about the specific placement by programs, just send us an email and we can, you know, share it with you. Here are some pictures of the social events we do. I think every year they organize volleyball at the beach. There's also futsal and basketball tournaments. Then, especially at the beginning of the academic year, we organize social activities so the students get to know each other and mingle with other students from other masters. And here is a picture in the gardens of students eating a fideuà, which is a typical dish from Catalonia. And I think they also organize a ski trip, depending if there's snow or not, because Andorra, which is in the border with France, is quite close to Barcelona. This is the student profile of admitted students every year. I think what we look for in a candidate is the most important thing for us is that your degree, your bachelor's degree or your master's degree is of a quantitative component, because the masters are all quantitative in content, meaning, you know, econometrics, statistics, all these things. So most of the students, they hold, when applying a degree in economics, finance, or any, you know, related area. For data science, also, we have people with degrees in engineering, maths, physics, statistics, all these things. Then, you know, some of them, they come from business, BBAs, and computer science. And here you got the nationalities of the countries where the admitted students come from. Okay, as you can see, only 16% are Spanish, but we've got people from all continents, really, even from Australia. The average age is 25 years, but it's true that we have younger students and also mature students. So age is not, you know, it's not, there's no age requirement to apply, as long as you hold a degree of at least 3 years. Okay. Then let's change subjects to the admissions criteria and the application process. This is a brief list of the what we look into a candidate. I mentioned this before, the good quantitative skills, the high GPA, because the profile of admitted students, they do have a good GPA, and when applying, we require it for 2 reference letters. So my advice is the admissions committee, they prefer letters from professors, from academics. So you should pick professors who taught you in a quantitative area, okay? And that can point out your quantitative skills. So you know, the admissions committee wants to make sure that you can cope with the content of the masters. Then the requirements to apply is that you hold a degree in any area, a bachelor, so equivalent of 3 years. In Europe, this is 180 ECTS credits. If you studied outside Europe, well, it usually is 3 years, the equivalent, okay? If you are not English or English is not your native language, we require an English language exam, like TOEFL, the IELTS, the Duolingo English test, also the Cambridge test, okay? The PhD track program is closed. We do not accept applications anymore. But for next year, if you're applying next year, the GRE is mandatory, okay? And also for the PhD track, we require 4 years of university studies. It could be 4 years bachelor's degree or 3 years bachelor's degree plus a 1 year master's. For the next intake, the admissions will be open until the 2nd of July. I don't recommend to wait to apply too late, because as I said before, the applications are processed on a rolling basis, and the later you apply, the fewer chances to be admitted, okay? All the application process is online, so it's going through the application platform. Here's the link, or if you go to the admissions page, you will find the link to apply there. Then what you need to do is there is, of course, an application form that you need to fill out, and then to upload the supporting documents in PDF format, okay? We won't support any, like pictures. You need to convert them to PDF. The documents need to be in English or Spanish. And this is the list of the required documentation, like a copy of your transcripts, copy of your diploma. If you also hold a master's degree, you can, merge your master's diploma and your master's transcript into one document and upload it to the system as well. Your CV, you need to write a statement of purpose. We are not too, about the length of the statement of purpose, we are not too strict. It could be, 800, 1,000 words is fine. Maybe 1 or 2 pages it's fine. There is not a strict limit for words, okay? Then the English language test, if you are not native. Also here, I want to say that if you are not, if English is not your native language, but you studied in an English-speaking university, and your degree was taught in English, you don't need to submit any English test, okay? And then the GRE exam for the PhD track program. For the other masters is recommended, but it's not mandatory. There are 2 types of applications, the single offer option and the multiple offer option. With both, you can apply with one application, you can apply to 3 different masters. The difference here is if you choose the single type of application, we consider your master choices in order of preference. This is, if you are admitted to the first option, you won't be considered for the second. Only if you are not admitted, if you are rejected to your first choice of program choice, your application will jump down to the list to the second program option, and so on. Okay. Whereas if you choose the multiple offer option, you can include 3 master's programs as well, but we can consider you at the same time. So that means that you could have more than one offer and with different funding conditions, okay? The application fee for the single offer option is 60 euros, and for the multiple offer option is 100 euros. Okay. And what happens after applying? Okay, so when you apply, the admissions office will get in contact with you via email and check that your supporting documents are fine. We need to wait for the referees to send the letters. We will update you every time, a change is, for example, if a referee provides the letter, we will let you know, so you know what is happening. And when the application pack is complete with the letters, we pass the file to the admissions committee. From that moment on, I think we could deliver an answer decision within 2 to 4 weeks at this time of the year. It depends when you apply, and it depends also on the volume of applications, okay? If you get a scholarship or a tuition fee waiver, we will let you know at the time of admission. There is no need for you to send a separate application for funding, okay? All students are considered for funding, any remaining funding available, and it's based on academic merits, okay? If your offer do not mention any tuition fee waiver or anything, that means that your offer does not include funding. Then from the day the offer is made, you have 30 days to accept or decline the offer. Okay, you can communicate this your decision to the admissions office, or you can update your application via the application platform. And then, of course, if you're admitted and then you secure your place, we'll get in touch with you to provide information about housing or the paperwork that needs to be done before traveling to Barcelona, or that kind of stuff, okay? So there are 2 types of financial support. The first one is scholarships, but at this time of the year, these have already been granted to earlier applicants. So at the moment, there are some partial tuition fee waivers. So we can cover for you the 25, 50, 75, or the whole of the tuition fees, except for the reservation fee, which is 1,000 euros. This is the payment that you need to make when securing a place in the program. So even if you are granted a 100 tuition fee waiver, you will have to pay the 1,000 euros, okay? As I said before, there's no separate application for funding. This is our phone number, and well, there's a typo here. But this is our email address, or I'm sure that most of you have been in contact with me or Lupe. Send us an email, and we can arrange a video call, or or if you have any questions or doubts, you can send us a list with your questions, and we try to answer as soon as possible. So now is the time for the questions. Here I have 2 questions here. Lupe, I'm not. Do you have anything to say, to share with us? No?
Okay. No. You have 3 questions, Sandra.
All right then. So David is asking, I'm an international student, can I secure fully funded scholarship in this application round? It could be, David. I mean, it is difficult, but not impossible. It would depend on how strong is your application, and at the time of the year you apply, and the other people applying at the same time as you, okay? Julia, what is the required GPA for the master's program? There is no GPA requirement, really, but this is the theory. There's no any specific GPA required to apply, but the truth is that the admitted students, they have a high GPA when applying. I would say maybe in a scale from 1 to 10, maybe an 8, okay? But it depends on the master's, depends on the year. Are there any housing options available for students? Yes, of course. I mean, we have a number of housing partners that you can arrange accommodation with them. Basically, there are 2 types of accommodation. The first one is the student hall. So you can rent a room in a student hall near campus or around campus. And then the second one is to share apartment with all the students. So you rent a room with all the students. Information about housing is sent to all admitted students and with links to all housing partners. So, but of course, if you need advice about areas of Barcelona, prices or anything else, you can ask us. Okay. If I fail to secure any financial aid or scholarship, do I get to pay the tuition fee installments or all in one go? Well, fees are paid usually in 4 installments. The first one is the reservation fee, which is a month after receiving the offer. And then there are 3 subsequent payments set in May, July, and September. Some students, so all fees are paid before the beginning of the academic year. Some students apply for a payment plan. That is, you pay likewise the reservation fee, but then we split the remaining fees in 2 monthly installments without interest. Okay. There's no third parties and there are no interest. So students who are interested in applying for a payment plan, they just need to let us know by email. Okay. Matthew, what is the percentage of applicants that you receive that take the GRE optional route? If an individual takes this route, what recommendations would you have to supplement better for this make you a strong candidate? Well, when look about the GRE, we only care really about the quantitative part of the test. So we look for candidates who score around the 80 percentile. Okay. If you take the test and you score 50 or 40, maybe it's not a good idea to include the test in your application pack. I don't know about the percentage of students providing the GRE. I don't want to say any percentage because I don't know. So sorry. Yes, I don't have the information for you, but if you take the test, just make sure that you score 80% in the quantitative part of the test. Bear in mind that this is already March and the test needs preparation, and also they need 2 weeks to deliver an answer. So that would delay the application till May, probably. If you hold a degree in economics related or an area related to the master's, my advice at the moment is that, and your GPA is good, that you feel your candidacy is strong enough, I recommend you not to take the GRE because this is already March and it might delay your application process a bit. Okay. For the ITFD program, how many students are usually in one cohort? Usually it's about 40 students, 40 to 50 students, it depends on the year. It could be less, it could be more. But since GRE is optional, does an average score affect the admissions chances? Yes, as I said before, we will look into the quantitative part of the test, the score. A student with a regular good GPA, but with an excellent GRE quantitative will be considered? Yes, of course. I mean, Austin, if you apply, I mean, because since there's no a minimum GPA to apply, all students are considered. Okay, bear in mind that admissions will depend, it's holistic. It's first your GPA, the marks in the modules related to the masters, the reference letters, and so it's the whole application pack. But then again, it will depend on the students already admitted in the masters and the pool of applicants that are applying with you. So it will depend how good your application performs against the others. Okay. Do I need to convert my GPA from 4 scale to? No, you don't need to. Just when filling out the application form, just add the GPA as is shown on your transcripts. Can I provide a diploma issued by a Russian university in English with the mention of grades A and B? Yes, if the translation is official, yes. Is there an admissions interview? No, sometimes only. Some admissions committee they want to speak with the candidate before deciding, but not always. No, not really. Sorry. What documents are required for MSc in accounting and finance? We don't offer a master in accounting. We offer a master in financial economics. The documents, we will share with you this presentation. If you want the presentation, just send us an email and I can share it with you. And also there is a list of the required documents to apply in the website, in the admissions website. CCAC, the application fee is non-refundable. So what happens if I'm not admitted? Well, the application fee is non-refundable. If you are not admitted, there won't be any refund. And the payments are non-refundable as well, either. So. Which master's is the best option for a candidate that wants to follow a financial master's career rather than research? Well, the master in financial economics is good. I mean, on average, I think after graduating, 20% of the candidates, they go into research and the rest go into a professional career path. So both options are there for you. You can decide while doing the master's after talking to your tutor and stuff. But if you want to go into financial, I would say the macro program or the financial master's, financial economics. What are class ratios like? You see, it depends. I think the biggest class group is the Master in Economics. There are about 70 students for the general modules, and then for electives, there are smaller groups. And then ITFD is about 40 to 50. The rest of the masters are about 25 or so small groups. When you say strong references, what does it mean? Well, professors during your studies that can support your application with a good reference letter, professors in quantitative areas like econometrics, statistics, maths. Alper, I will graduate from international relations BSc. It is not directly mathematics or economics. Should I apply for GRE to show my quantitative skills? Maybe, yes, this is a difficult question. If you feel that your degree do not contain enough credits in maths or quantitative areas, yes, you can take the GRE, yeah. But only if you score well in the quantitative part, okay? If not, you can apply anyways without the GRE and see what happens. Muhammad, in which course I can take admissions with having MBA? With MBA background, you can apply to any masters. We don't require any specific bachelor's degree. So you can apply to any masters that you want to do. Is there anything like making insurance payment for about 8,000 euros before leaving for studies? 8,000 euros. No, I mean, the international students, they need to get health insurance before traveling to Spain. This is a requirement by the Spanish embassy when applying for a student visa. I think the cost of the health insurance is 500 euros a year. And you are covered, I think, for 30,000 euros because it covers, at the hospital in case you need to stay at hospital, or if anything medical related issue happens in while studying. But the requirements are listed in the the Spanish embassy in your country. If you send them an email, they will share information with you. What are the requirements for a master's degree in economics, energy, climate change, and so? Well, all the requirements are the same for all students. So if you go to the admissions page, maybe Lupe can share the admissions page link here, but the requirements are in there. What about the Masters in Economics and Energy? Which percentage of students end up in research versus private sector? Pau, if you send us an email, I can send you the, I don't have the information top of mind, but if you send me an email, I can share the report with you. Lamin, how can we have the embassy's email? If you go to Google, you Google it. I'm sure you can find it. Also, this information about visas is shared with students if they are admitted and after they secure their place. So we help you in, we provide information about how to apply for a visa. Okay, no problem. No more questions? Altaf, could you please send me the documents and records? What do you mean the documents? Altaf, the application process is online. If you could visit the admissions website, which I think Lupe is just put the link, and there all the information is there. After completing the masters, where do graduates tend to start working? Do they work in Barcelona or in other European countries normally? It depends. It depends on the masters. It depends on the nationality of the student. Some students they prefer to stay in Barcelona or in Spain, and some others they go to elsewhere in Europe. Some others to go back home. It depends really. There's no a trend that the students prefer to go here and there, but it depends on the student. We've got students placed all over the world, really. Can we get a visa requirements list for students visa from BSE, or just need to contact a specific country embassy? We provide with information about visas to all admitted students, not before you apply, to admitted students, and also after you secure your place in the program, okay? But if you want information right now, you can Google your Spanish embassy in your country, and I'm sure there is a contact email. Is there any extra fees for non-EU students? Do we have to get insurance before leaving our country? Yes, as I said before, all international students, non-Europeans, they must get health insurance before traveling. Also, you need to count with the living expenses and the health insurance expenses, the traveling expenses. Jose, I'm looking to apply for the 26-27. It would be the most recommended to spend the application as soon as it opens. Yes, it's always good to apply before the 15th of January, always, because this is when most of the funding is granted to students. After the 15th of January, so there are two rounds of applications. The first round starts in October until the 15th of January. We wait until the 15th of January to start reviewing applications, and this is when most of the funding is granted. After the 15th of January, we process applications on a rolling basis, And so the earlier you apply, the better, always, okay? Is it late for me to submit my application now? No, not at all. The admissions will be open until the 2nd of July. So while we wait for more questions, it is important that you apply as early as possible. If you want to start your master's in September 2025, you need to apply as early as you can. Also, it is good for you if you are an international student. The sooner you know about the decision, you better can organize yourself to do all the relocation paperwork and arrangements. This is TOEFL. The TOEFL is, yes, if you are not a native English speaker, you need to provide an English language test. I submitted my application, but my referee says they haven't gotten the link. This is very, yeah, probably ask them to check the spam folder, because usually, this is an automated email, probably our request was filed there. Ask them to check the spam folder. If they can't find the link yet, contact us and we send a reminder, or they can send the letters to me or to Lupe. Is there a specific criteria for GRE score to be considered for merit-based funding? No. As I said, well, yes and no. No specific criteria, but we took into account the quantitative part of the test. Due to my lecture, I couldn't join the beginning. Will this be published? Yes, this webinar is being recorded, so we share the report with you, the recording. Okay. If I got admitted to in masters in BSE, how much initial deposit do I need to pay? 1,000 euros is the reservation fee. Yes, the deposit. I started TOEFL preparation, but I don't pass the exam right now. Can I participate? No, the English test is mandatory to apply. So you need to wait to prepare and take the test and score the required points. Ben, are there any dormitories provided by school? Well, yes, I talked before about accommodation, not on campus, but nearby campuses, yes. Anna, do I still need to provide an English test score if my major is translation? English as the first language and Spanish as the second language? This is a tricky question. We never had any applicant with a degree in translation. I think if your degree was taught in English, you don't need to submit an English language test. But send us an email and I will look into that for you. Normally, what your sponsorship covers, tuition fees only. At the moment, there's no scholarships available to cover anything else. I mean, the reservation fee, is it mandatory in a situation you have a family there? Yes, the reservation fee is part of the tuition fee, so it is mandatory and it's a requirement to secure your place in the program. I graduated from American University in Cairo. Do I still need to take the IELTS? No. If your degree was taught in English, you don't need to take any English language test. Good afternoon. Can I submit my application with one GRE score and send an updated score later if I improve my results? Also, if I took the proficiency exam more than 4 years ago, do I need to take it again? Okay, so Francisco, the Cambridge test, the proficiency, they don't expire, so you can use that test. And also, it depends. I mean, you can provide the GRE test and let us know if you want us to hold your application until you provide a new GRE score, or we can pass it to the admissions committee, and if they make a decision about your file, and then you provide the GRE later after they've already processed your file, it's too late. So it's up to you, really. We can hold it up for you, or you give us the green light and we pass it to the admissions committee. Do I have to get my documents from through The Hague? Yes. For non-European documents, they need to be apostille and legalized. Do we need a bank statement as financial records? And so, no, this is a requirement for the visa. It's a requirement from the Spanish embassy, not by us. You don't need to send any bank statement to us. Is it possible that I receive a scholarship now if I apply for 2025? This is impossible to know. I mean, the admissions decision is taken by the admissions committee at the end of the application process. So we cannot foresee the offer, or if you are going to be admitted. Gimelgo. For the Duolingo English test, the minimum requirement is 120, for the IELTS 6.5. Is there any minimum requirement for each company? No, this is the overall score for us. Thank you a lot. Thank you, Anna. You're welcome. Then the other, sorry, I'm not getting this question by Jose. Jose, can you retype again your questions? Saida, apostille will be made on the original diploma or on its copy? That will depend. The program coordinator will provide information on how to apostille your documents, okay? Information will be provided once if you're admitted and after securing the place, the place in the masters. It's 10 minutes to go. We have to close this webinar at 4 o'clock. So if you have more questions, is the reservation fee payment on or before getting admissions? After getting admissions, we won't require any payment if you are not admitted, only the application fee. No more questions? When is the next webinar? Well, there is a webinar next week about the masters in economics of energy. Maybe you should receive if you are interested in these masters, but this will be the last webinar. There will be no webinars about admissions for this year anymore. But if you have questions, we can arrange an online call for you, okay? Okay. Cherish, will you assist me in my application process? I don't understand how to get the Hey SWOT translation. Well, there is no need to apostille the documents to apply, just a copy of documents in English. You will only have to apostille your documents if you're admitted and if you are coming to Barcelona, to Spain, because we need those documents to verify your degree and stuff. But you don't need to apostille them to apply, okay? Just copies of your diploma and transcripts. Can we access the, yes, this webinar is being recorded. We'll send the recording tomorrow or in 2 days' time. Any more questions? Thank you. Thank you for attending this webinar. It's not too late to receive funding, and at the moment there is some partial tuition fee waivers. Thank you, Cherise, for attending the webinar. If all the documents are in Spanish, do we need to translate them? No, but you need to write the statement of purpose in English, and the reference letters need to be in English. Catriona, have you had any refresher courses? No, Catriona, I'm afraid no. Yes, Laming, only partial tuition fee waivers. Your degree is not recent. Well, you mean you graduated a few years ago? All the masters starts with brush up courses, which are short courses in general areas of knowledge like maths or statistics. And then the master starts after 2 weeks of these short courses. You'd be surprised at how many applicants apply after a few years after graduating. So as a mature student. So, you know, if I were you, I would try, give it a go and send your application. I mean, we cannot know before applying. We cannot predict the type of funding that you can get. The most common type of funding is partial at the moment. Even full funding, the full funding won't cover your living expenses and traveling expenses, for example. No, I'm afraid you cannot waive the tuition fees. Well, okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this webinar. I hope you find it useful. As I said, we'll be sending the recording, and if any of you need more information about the placement records or the presentation, I'll be happy to share it, okay? We cannot know what type of funding you can receive before applying, I'm afraid. You're welcome. Can the place be kept for a year after the application is accepted? Yes, you can defer your offer for the next intake. There some conditions apply, but you could, yes. My contact is here in this. Lupe, can you type the admissions email address in the chat? Thank you. Can I receive higher funding after deferred admissions? No, if you defer your place in a program, the offer will be the same. It won't change. Okay, guys. Thank you for attending again. Any questions, just send me to, no problem, by email to Lupe or me. We'll be happy to help, okay? Have a nice day.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.